Do I feel like I'm God, like I'm generating, operating, and destroying, generating what I choose, operating what I accept, and destroying what, I'm not, when I'm the most comfortable? Well, that's easy. That's the story of Job, where when you're in your function, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then obviously you're going to feel like, you're protected, you're loved, you're blessed, and that you deserve the divine presence. What about when you don't? What about when you make the decision to learn and go beyond what you accept, what you know, and you try to find something else? And I'm here, accepting something completely different than I thought I was. And in that moment, are you now the devil? Are you now a sinner? No, you're still God. And this is an interesting thing of life that you see Hercules when he's sent out from Olympus, and he goes to Earth, and to kill him, that was the overall goal. The goal wasn't to make him mortal, it was to kill him. But in order to kill him, they had to make him mortal. But because he didn't take that last drop of that potion they had to make him mortal, in his DNA, he still had God. He still had the energy of where he actually was. And this was the last bit, and the last bit that was left was his strength. And that strength was used to bring him back to the point where he could be in the divine presence again. And you see through these labors of Hercules, that Hercules is reminded of his divinity. But in the Hercules movie from the 90s, even something more spectacular. You see his exceptional power only come back when it doesn't even matter to him. He tells Hades, let's make a deal. He has Meg in the pool, and he said, take me for her. If I, since you want to do all of this, if I go get her and come back, then I'm good. But if you can get Meg, boom. So he jumps in this pool, he jumps into that Hades pool, and Hades is like, oh yeah, it's a good deal, except for you won't be able to get down there because you'll be dead. So this is the thing. Sometimes the things that are in us that make us awkward or make us feel like, we need to ostracize or whatever. These are the strengths that are placed within us to return us to our divine state. And we can run from them. You can see Hercules early in the movie, he's like, oh shit, and it sounds like a great thing being that strong, being able to have that level of strength. But it makes one displaced if that strength doesn't have a unique purpose. And you find later when he gave his life for Meg and for real selflessness and a real remembering, it wasn't just about it being selfless, it was his true choice. He didn't hide from the choice. And you see how that evolved into Hercules becoming God. You see that in our lives, we have a responsibility to actualize our power. And it's actually a responsibility. It's not about it's not about just fear or kind of fear-based things of oh, this is that. It's not about that. It's about when you're given a divine gift, when you're born, that divinity is still in you. Yeah, you're mortal in some ways. You have a body, whatever. But you're not, you're not cast out or, cut off from the divine. You are still a remnant and still an embodiment of that. So through his choice, Hercules still had to make that choice, right? He still made the choice to, he didn't know if he would come back up from that thing, but he did know if it was the right feeling. And sometimes I think that, we can demonize how we feel and the choices we make that, are we feeling great when we make the wrong choice? Do we feel like we're a hero when we make the choice that makes us look like a loser? You had Hercules, 0 to hero. And he wasn't always a hero. He had to become a hero in his own eyes. You see when he had overcome and he conquered, and when he was fighting, and he got all the awards. Then they were like, oh yeah. He said, okay, Zeus, I did everything. I did what I'm supposed to do. And when he does this, he's looked at as, Zeus is like, no, bro, you just did a good job. You didn't become a hero yet. But when he really moved off of his choice, moved off of his nature, not off of what someone else or external thing, to save Meg because he loved Meg. This is what ascended that strength and brought that strength into his purpose. And see how that looked like a ridiculous thing, jumping into this river. When he jumped into Hades River, that didn't seem like, that was God, that was a good thing to do. Just like it doesn't seem like it's the right nature. It's the right nature. So some of the choices that the divine brings us to be in, or that we choose to be in, they seem opposite of us. They seem like opposite of who we are. They seem opposite of what will be God. But those very choices, those very decisions that are made purely, actually lead us to ourselves. You're not off the base. You're not, you're not off the mark. You're not, You're not off your soul, or not divine, or not in God's presence because you're not, feeling like God. You're more, actually, sometimes. Sometimes you're not going to feel the feeling. Just like you could cash a check, it still takes a couple seconds to show up in your account, right? You could cash that internal check of what you know is right, and it still takes a moment in this life to show up. There's nothing wrong with you that you feel discouraged or afraid. It's what's wrong with if you choose to accept that as the finality. Of course Hercules didn't want to jump in there. Of course Jesus, in the story, in the character Jesus didn't want to die. He even said, I don't want to die, bro. I don't want to do this. But accepting what is the most inevitable thing as a choice makes you most powerful. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but you can do everything you want to do and need to do. And this is where I'm at with it. Sometimes that means just returning to what you actually want. Like there's things in your life in my life, and everyone in the life in general, that are characterized as you're a loser if you do this. You're bad if you do this. What the heck is that got to do with your soul? Like, listen to what God put in your soul. That stuff is not going to hurt you or make you less divine. The choices that make you feel worse or better are from the divine. Accept each role as a responsibility. I'm engaging in that. One thing I'm practicing and I know works is when a choice feels bad, I accept that, okay, that feels bad. And then I instantly return as much as I can to the divine feeling of like grateful or happy. But I don't feel like feeling bad is ungrateful necessarily. If someone passed away or someone smacked me or something like that, I'm not going to feel great. And my response is what makes me either divine or choosing not. Sometimes that's no response. Sometimes that's ignoring a situation. Sometimes that's like, how can I look at whatever is going on and decide that this is a purpose-filled opportunity? So DJ Khaled, a new opportunity. There's another story of atonement of your soul, and this is kind of like what we always think of as God, and it is. But there also is another level of this where there's generating, operating, and destroying. I saw Steve Freeman L talk about this. But also, just like there's that generation, there's also a destruction behind that generation, and there's also operation, and there's also a continuity behind that operation, and there's also destruction, and there's a necessary generation behind that. So it goes like in a cycle. But we have a choice, and as long as we empower our choice, we don't got to worry about making the right or wrong choice. How we look at it as if we are greater or less based on what we feel only, or what we've chosen only, what this reality. It takes time to catch up with our choice. Please continue to make a choice. I'm telling myself today, don't worry about what it looks like. You must make a determinate choice to be who you are. If you feel like you want to be this and want to be that, but I need this to get that, to feel like that, don't feel like that. Feel like it now. And that's my choice I'm making now. Billionaire Blaine, trillionaire Blaine, whatever that would mean, whatever the access and opportunity that would afford. Well, I'd like to actualize that now. I'd like to look at what would make me feel like that now. Why the hell would I fear and feel this? And it comes up. But I actively, just like Hercules when he jumped in that pool, he had a mission to grab her hand, to grab Meg's hand. And we have to grab our subconscious mind's hand. Meg is not another person, it's us. When we reconnect with the subconscious mind, the divine mind is listening to you. It's waiting for you, who's its hero. Your consciousness, your choice, is the hero. I'm the hero of my subconscious mind. I can't leave it back there as some kind of fate-driven opportunity or something that, it'll all work out. Yes, it will work out because I will be actively accepting that it's working out and work it with it out. I'm not a victim or the conqueror, on a dichotomous scale. I'm something beyond that, which is the person that makes the choice. When you're playing chess, the most opportunity, they don't call it a chess, they call a champion the one who won the game. They call a master the one who wins and loses and understands the win. and understands the loss. And what I'm saying is that the losses that are determined by choices, not always your choices, but you have the choice to make this next move. If you get checkmated, you have another game. And if you continue to learn, I dedicate my entire life now to mastery of generating, operating, and destroying. If I lose everything, it shows me there's something more than I thought was everything. If I lose nothing, then I'm confined by what I think I am. We have an opportunity right now, today, to decide. That's what I always understood. People always say it's a great day, stuff like that. And some people that are spiritual say, no, it's not, all these things. And I say, well, you're deciding. And he's deciding too. And if it's an illusion or it's not, if you make a decision, you're the realist. Why do you have to wait on reality to catch up? People are hungry. I've been hungry. So why am I waiting on, you don't wait on the food to grow. You still plant the seeds, but you don't wait on the food to grow. That seed is you. That plant, that tree is you. The choices we make to water those seeds, the choices we make don't determine their growth. They benefit the growth of the seed. But there's a proverb in the Egyptian, and it goes, the seed is not the tree it contains. So to bring it all back home, when you make that choice, when Hercules made that choice to jump in that pool, that was a seed. When you make the choice to step out, to completely fail and look completely ridiculous like I'm doing sometimes, and I'm doing this to master myself. I don't think you need to suffer or choose stuff. You should choose whatever you want. But it's your choice, and I want to empower you today. Like, I want to empower myself. Why the fuck would you choose what you don't want? Choose what you want. Don't feel wrong for choosing it. Peace. Jump in that water, man. Hercules jumped in there. Obviously there's consequences for not doing it and for doing it, but more importantly, don't jump in there. Just know that the choice is yours. It's not anyone else's. I'm telling myself this. I still feel it. When I get down, I sometimes feel like I'm not in my divine. You're just as great. You're just as God. You're just as generator, operator, destroyer when you feel like you're not. Hercules, even in the story, I love this analogy. He didn't always feel like this. He didn't always feel like Hercules. Sometimes he even felt like, damn, I feel ridiculous. If you're not doing something where you feel ridiculous, maybe you're not challenging yourself enough. The strength is not in what we can put up with, but what we can accept as more. You're more than what you think. I'm more than what I think, or I wouldn't be what I am now. There's a lot of life coming from choices, and I'm abiding in that eternal choice. The awareness of that choice is now.